What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tyler the Fly, and today we're going to talk about Ratatouille. Now, Ratatouille is one of my good movies. Now, his name is Remy. I think as a parent, he really needs to think his life a little bit. So, what's his problem? First of all, he's a rat, which means life is really that hard. And second, he had a taste and smell of devil lights or something. He always likes food, not garbage. The reason I love that movie is it was awesome. It was created by Cars and The Incredibles. I'm like, oh my gosh. I cannot believe it. But I just love it. It was blowing my mind. It was just like, it's just like, face it. And he said this, garbage. And his father said this, it wasn't stealing if no one wants it. And he said this, if no one wants it, why are we stealing that? He was mad and angry. But let's just say he wants some good food. But this much he knows. But if you want what you eat, then he only want to eat the good stuff. But till his dad told him this, food is fuel, but if you're picky, and he said this, your engine is gonna die. That's what he just said. And I'm like, wow, okay, that is totally blowing my mind. I cannot believe it. But this is what I'm saying about. But I don't think anyone wants about it. I'm just saying, this is a great movie. Without a doubt. It was made by, it was a long time, it was a long time ago, from 2007. But I just love it. But Remy goes to Paris, France, because the reason why is because he lost his family and his best friend and everything. And that's the reason. The reason is Remy saw Paris, France, and then his favorite chef in the world. His name is Cusco. The greatest chef in the world wrote this cookbook. But not exactly, but he wrote the cookbook. But in the movie, he died. And then Remy was upset. And then he was imagining that he's like this, why am I talking to you? And then I was like, oh my god, that is so imaginative. And then he saw Paris, France. I was like, whoa, this is like paradise, like Paris, France. I love Paris, France. Remy likes this place. But till then he meets Linguini, his father. Until then he was freaked out. And then his boss, this tiny boss, I forgot his name, and then he just saw rat. I'm like, oh my god, that was funny. Check this scene. It was so hilarious and really funny. And Linguini says, what should I do now? And he says, kill it. And he says, no, not in the kitchen. Are you mad? And I'm like, oh god. Check this scene. It's really funny.
Run! Get the rat! Shut it down! Get something to eat!
Getting away! Eat it! What should I do now?
Kill it!
Now?
No! Not in the kitchen. Are you mad? Do you know what would happen to us if anyone knew we had a rat in our kitchen? They'd close us down. Our reputation is hanging by a thread as it is. Take it away from here. Far away. Kill it. Dispose of it. Go!
You see? That is why I was so blown my mind. It was so funny. And then look when he says no. I mean, he's like, what should I do now? I'm like, oh my god. And also, he couldn't look. He was right. I mean, he was trying to ride a bike, and he couldn't look anywhere. He couldn't see the car out of the way. See? He couldn't look at the car. But the funny of all, he's like this. Don't look at me like that. You aren't the only one who expect me to cook it again. And I'm like, oh my god, that is so darn funny. He's like this. I'm just trying to stay out of trouble. And he's like this. You're the one who's conspiring with the spices. And he said this. What did you throw in there? Oregano? No? Rosemary? I'm like, oh god, that is so funny. But without a doubt, that movie was so funny. Without it, I couldn't agree more. I rather cook that recipe of ratatouille. My grandma makes the best ratatouille of all time. We cooked it and it was delicious. So I just want to say it was really good. I love it. I just want to say if you haven't cooked that recipe, make sure you look up online and then look it up and then look on Ratatouille. Those red, yellow, and green things, and then you cook it. It's easy. So let's get to that. And then it was so cool. But on further noticed, that movie was so good. But without a doubt, that guy named he was like this. I don't like food. I love it. I'm like, oh my god. He doesn't like food, he loves it. But until the end of that Ratatouille movie, he tries that ratatouille. And after that, he loved it. I was like, oh my god. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. He loved it. He loved it. And then the little guy tastes it and he says, no, I couldn't breathe. And then he goes to the kitchen and then he says this, who cooked the ratatouille? I demand to know. And then he saws a bunch of rats. And then he gasped. And I was like, oh my gosh, he could have seen his face. I was like, oh my gosh. but this is what I am saying right now. I could have said, I love that movie. It is so awesome. And it's so easy that I love food. Like, my favorite food was spaghetti with meatballs. They could have cooked that. I love all kinds of foods. Like they have cooked more, like in Paris, France. But I gotta say, Ratatouille movie is awesome. Remy, and Emile, and Linguini, and all the characters are in this movie. I love that movie. Even my family does. But I love it. I love to cook. And even Remy likes to cook. And he likes good food. But good food is a hard for Remy to find. It is so hard for him to find. But I gotta say, that movie was so good. But this is for my review of Ratatouille, Disney and Pixar Animation Studios for today. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and also click that bell notification, and also comment down below that what do you think of that movie. If you haven't seen Ratatouille, make sure you go on Disney Plus and watch it for you. And this is Tyler on the Fly, and this is a scene for you.
Please open up.
This is what I'm talking about. I don't think any of this would have come up, but we happen to live in Paris, France. And it's so easy to find good food in Paris. It's just dangerous.
Gotta rethink your life.
He's right, you know.
Let it go, Dad!